So unfortunately, Steemit has been getting a bunch of what's called DDoS attacks, DOS attacks recently, over the last month or so. And obviously, it looks bad for the brand Steemit.com, but it also must be a little bit scary for new users or people trying to get on, trying to do posts and finding that they lose the post or they can't comment. So I wanted to do this episode about multiple ways that you can connect to the Steemit blockchain, because they're two independent things. You have the website, the front end of Steemit.com, which runs a piece of software called Condenser, which basically pulls back the posts, the view, the way that you're looking at my screen now, which is Steemit.com at Team Humble. You're looking at my blog posts, but they've been pulled from the Steemit blockchain. Now, there's a great little application at this URL here at the top, at github.io steam-servers, and it tells you this little bunch of servers. Now, there's a lot more Steemit servers than this, but whenever you see something with the numbers at the side of it, so these top four ones are trying to get in sync. That's the block size of the Steemit blockchain right now. You can see them getting it in sync. And you can see at the bottom that the last two servers are offline. So they may be getting DOS attacked, or they may be just down for whatever reason. And throughout the day, these servers go online and offline. And this affects the loading of your posts, because the actual website is an independent entity in its own right. So it sits on a web server and it connects to the blockchain, pulls the information back from the blockchain. Now, if the nodes of that blockchain are being attacked or DOS attacked, then obviously it can't pull back the information from the blockchain. Or if the website's being DOS attacked, then the site doesn't come up at all. Now, one of the really interesting and powerful things of the Steemit blockchain and any blockchain technology is that there's multiple ways to connect to those blockchains. So it doesn't necessarily have to rely on one website. So I quickly want to show you this website, and you've probably heard about it already if you've had problems logging on to Steemit.com in the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, or if you ever have any problems with it. There's another site called busy.org, and it's another developer in the Steemit ecosystem that built their interpretation of what the Steemit front end should look like. Now, all your posts are identical. Everything to do with your blog and your login and everything, it's all the same. It's just that it's using a different front end to connect to the blockchain. So what tends to happen is if you have issues with Steemit.com resolving, say that the website doesn't come up or you can't go to your blog page, then you can go over to Busy, same URL. If I just pull this across to here, you can see it's steemit.com at Team Humble, same as this, busy.org at Team Humble. So the URL is the same, it's just the first URL of the site is different. And you'll see that all your posts are pulled from the blockchain. So as long as these blockchains, one of these blockchains is up, one of these Steam servers is up, then it will connect to one of those nodes and pull back your blog post. Now, where the problems happen is if any of those nodes are down, or they're trying to catch up, or they're not in sync, or even if they're offline, that affects when you go to do your post. So if you're adding a post and you click the post button, you might lose the whole post because it can't post that to the blockchain because the blockchain is not up. So that's why I always suggest using something like an offline editor like Bear. That's how I do most of my stuff. Then you don't lose your post, which is a huge thing if you've spent an hour or 2 hours on a blog post and you lose it. That's not necessarily a fault per se of the website. I guess in some ways people will see it like that, but it's just an additional check for you to do. There's a lot of DOS attacks and people always constantly trying to take websites down, always trying to disrupt innovative technology. So do be aware of that. Most of the time, I would say for the last 8 months, I've not really had that many problems with Steemit, but now it's getting bigger, it's getting more media coverage, it's getting a lot of interest from different people, and sometimes the wrong kind of people who want it to be held back while their service is, accelerated forward, if you like. So that's one site that you can use. If steemit.com is down, you can use busy.org. And then if this doesn't work, busy.org, there's a third one that you can use called beta.chainbb.com. And this is presented more in a forum kind of style, but it's still connecting to the blockchain. So you just connect like using the sign in. It'll say, be careful, this is beta software. And then when you proceed, it asks you for your posting key, your private key, and you can log in with that. What I would say is use something like a VPN. I have a VPN running here, and I really like these guys, VRPR VPN. Very good, very cheap, and very fast VPN connection. I would always use some kind of security whenever you're connecting or adding in your private key for any of these. So that's three sites you can be using: the original Steemit site, the busy.org site, all the forums at beta.chainbb.com. You can at least put up your post on any of those 3 websites. Another way, a final way of doing it, is there isn't an app out there, a mobile app, and we're still waiting for the Steam official app, but there's one called eSteam out there. Personally, it's not for me. I find the interface a little bit confusing, a little bit unfinished. It's not very smooth. The experience is not as good as I wish it was. I've got used to different apps on Instagram and things like that. It is great to install it to get the notifications and push updates, and whenever you receive a payment or whenever you receive a memo, it's nice to get the notifications for that, but I don't really use it for posting. But one of the nice things about eSteam is that you can set one of these different servers. So if one of the servers goes down but one of them is reliable and stays up, or you've noticed that it stays up, then you can change that in the eSteam application. So most of the time it will go to the master Steam node, but if that node's down, you can go in there, change it, save it in a notepad on your iPhone or your Android device, and then you can just copy and paste it in and still get onto Steam even if one of the master servers is down. So that's kind of useful for that, and you can get that for iOS or eSteam, and I recommend you checking those out.